Hi everybody, Steve Zarelli here. Welcome back to another episode of Collectibles Chat. There's a few things that I'd like to cover today. I have some really cool items that I've authenticated recently, stuff that you don't commonly see, and I also have a very special guest on this edition. It's someone who actually has been building rockets. I think you're going to like it. Many people have called this person a master builder. So without any further ado, I'll introduce you to our first guest. Come on in here, Master Builder.
Hello.
There he is, the Master Builder. So you have some stuff that you're going to show us today. And the first one here is this Saturn V Lego rocket. So tell us a little bit about this. How many pieces are inside this?
There's 1,969 pieces.
1969. So is there any significance to that number?
Same year that they launched Apollo 11.
Awesome. Very good. And how long did it take you to build this Saturn V?
About 9 hours the second I could start.
Oh, this is as soon as you could start. And, you know, I know you went for 9 hours straight. Probably didn't take any breaks other than to eat some cookies and stuff, right?
Possibly.
Possibly. Well, that's a pretty impressive piece. I mean, that's about 3 feet tall. I don't know where we're going to put it, but...
Should I show you the stages?
Oh, you want to show the stages? Okay, let's do that. Careful with it.
Yeah. I've engineered it way too well. It's just like the real thing.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
The first
Nice.
stage.
See, you can see there.
The
There you go.
second stage. And then...
All right, hold it up for the camera. Whoa, it's got stuff flying
also
out.
a launch escape system.
Nice.
Good thing it was successful.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Well, we can put the stages back together in a little bit. Oh, look at that. Pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah, and you can stuff the mini lunar lander.
I wonder if has anybody ever gotten these things autographed? I mean, it might be a little difficult, but I bet you somebody has. If you've gotten any of these autographed, a Lego set, drop me a note or put something in the comments. I'm kind of curious to how it turned out and how it looks. Probably be kind of difficult to find a pen that would adhere very well, but in any case. All right, very nice. And we got something else here that we want to share with the folks. Come on over this way. Don't move off camera. Okay, so what do we have here?
It's the lunar lander, and it's made with 1,080 pieces.
Wow. And how long did this take you to put together?
About 5 hours.
About 5 hours. There's some little things in here I think you want to show me, right?
Yeah. It has the little laser grid that NASA used to measure the distance between Earth and the moon.
Oh, look at that. See, it goes in a little compartment right there. And what else is on here that you wanted to show me?
There's also the compartment for the camera that filmed the Apollo 11 lunar landing.
Very nice. So I'm going to set this down on the table so it'll go out of the camera for a second, but you wanted to show something else too, right?
Yes. You can also detach the stage of it that went up and docked with the command module.
Right.
And then you can also see the inside of it. Yay. And you can also stuff the minifigures in there if you want.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the minifigures you got going down the ladder, planting the flag. Very, very nice. So, okay, Master Builder, any final words of wisdom for us?
Splashdown and mini lunar lander.
Well, that's pretty awesome. I'll tell you, these Legos have certainly come a long way from when I was a kid, which was a shoebox full of dirty, dusty, red bricks full of sand, in all likelihood.
One last thing, you can also put the mini lunar lander into one of the stages.
Wow.
And it's not shaking because I put it down.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. So what do you want to do next? There's something else you want to do, right? Well, maybe you'll need to do a shuttle next.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, you put that on your list for the birthday, right?
Sure.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today, Master Builder. There you go.
Now we reassemble the Saturn V rocket.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon, and we'll have you back on the show with your next big Lego accomplishment. Okay?
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you. So there you have it, our first guest on Collectibles Chat. You get what you pay for. Well, it was kind of fun. I got a kick out of that. It's quite amazing these days. It's really funny because, I've been on TV shows and all this kind of stuff, and my kids will look at that and it's like, big deal to them. Yet, if you're on YouTube, that's huge. So when I asked my son if he wanted to be on one of my YouTube videos, oh my God, it's like the biggest thing in the world. It's beyond belief. Anyways, hey, let's look at some collectible stuff now. I think you're really going to like this. Some interesting items came across the desk this week for authentication. I thought I'd share a couple with you. The first one is a 40th anniversary commemoration from the San Diego Air and Space Museum, signed by the crew of Apollo 8. So you have Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Anders on this piece. Really primo, sweet signatures. These were signed for some VIPs at the 40th anniversary celebration. As you know, Bill Anders does not sign frequently at all, and typically only in very special circumstances. So not a common piece from one of the most uncommon Apollo crews that there is. Of course, I issued a letter for this. Notice anything different about the letter? I hope you're going to like it. But we've done a little bit of a letter enhancement beginning in 2020. Some additional color and some things that I think you're really going to like. The second item is a signed copy of We 7. Now, this is a book by the Mercury 7 astronauts that came out in the 60s. Very frequently, you will see this book signed by all 7 Mercury 7 astronauts, but this one is quite different than the typical one that you're going to see. You have 33 signatures inside of this fantastic book. Shepard, Cooper, a bunch of Mercury astronauts. If you're looking at it, let's see, you have the crew of Apollo 7. You don't have a complete Apollo 8 because there's no Anders. You have Apollo 9. Strangely, Cernan did not sign this, so no Apollo 10. You have the complete crew of Apollo 11. The complete crew of Apollo 12. You don't have a 13. You don't have a 14. Oddly, Mitchell's not in here. Not a complete 15. No Irwin. And no, actually, Worden is in there. Not 16 because there's no Duke. So I'm thinking that this was signed earlier, probably in the Gemini era. And then you also have a couple of tipped-in business cards signed by Slayton and Cunningham. A really interesting and unique piece with a great collection of vintage Gemini era style signatures. If I could leave you with one collectibles tip or thought of the day, it's this. Always try to focus on quality rather than quantity. I know this is tough for a lot of newer collectors, and there's always that impulse to buy a lot of stuff. You'll go to a show and you'll buy a ton of, $10 or $15, $20 signed baseballs or cards, or you'll go to the comic shop and you'll take a ton of stuff from the dollar bin. The problem is then, 10, 15, 20 years later, you have this mountain of stuff. You have this giant accumulation that's not really a collection. And you say to yourself, oh my God, how am I ever going to get rid of all this stuff? Rather than just trying to dump it super cheap somewhere. You don't want to be in that situation. And believe me, I'm speaking from experience here. I look back at my younger days. I'm like, oh, why was I buying so much stuff? So you need to really kind of try and fight that impulse. In my view, I always look at it this way. One $200 item is way better than 10 $20 items. It's probably a higher quality thing. It'll be easier when it comes time to sell, and you won't be just so overwhelmed by a mountain of stuff in your house. Keep that in mind. And with that, have a great day. Happy collecting, and we'll see you again soon.